I think we're live, Julia. Hello,
Yes,
everyone.
we are. Hi, guys.
Hi, let us know if you can hear us. Yes, we can see there's a few people. Today, very little talking and a lot of sketching. Today, we've got workshop number 3. So, you
The
pretty
last
much know
one.
what we're doing already. And yeah, you know everything there is to know. So, it's over to you, Julia. Um,
I
and I'm
think
done.
we, yeah, you're done. But I think we need to wait just a few seconds before more people will join us because no, 1 minute. I see some people coming in, and maybe
Well,
someone want
you
to
do the
say.
talking then, Julie. I don't know what is there you want to tell us. Tell us how today's sketch is different then.
Yes, I want to tell you that. Today's sketch is actually a little bit more complicated. As you can see, we did these two sketches, and this one was also complicated because of perspective. This one is complicated because of more details and also because of more objects. But we will try to make it easier for ourselves. And to do that, we will use simple shapes, as we always do actually. When we draw a complicated scene, we always try to see it in simple shapes, and that makes the complicated scene much easier to draw and much easier to understand uh, what what the priorities in the sketch, what the focus will be. So yeah, I think we can start sketching. And here's our reference photo. And as you can see, it's yeah, there is a lot of happening. And oh, I need to tape my paper to prevent buckling. Okay, another side. Oh. And I've got so many messages from you guys as the weeks about this workshop, that you love the method I use, that it's easy to draw, and that it's that your sketches are very colorful and beautiful. And I agree, they are really awesome. And it's so nice to see them on Instagram and in our Brave Brushes group on Facebook. Okay, so now we have the sketching with simple shapes. So when I see a scene like this, I try to understand what large simple shapes I can see here. And I would say this is one large simple shape. It's a rectangle, and this is another one. And here we see two circles or ovals. We will see. Okay, so we start with the simple shape for this part. The whole cathedral, or the towers, like this. And another one will be here. Yeah, maybe a little bit higher. And like this. And here we have an oval and a kind of circle or another oval. So this is all we need to start with our sketch. And when we have this, we can start refining it a little bit. We see here one tower in the middle. And it's like, if we look at the proportions, you can see that the top of this tower is somewhere in the middle of the large tower. So it will be somewhere here. Okay. And then we draw this small top and this shape. It's a triangle. And for this towers, we will look at these tops. They will be somewhere here. And they are like this. We can start with a circle, of course, but this can also be a kind of very quick flower. And then we draw these shapes, and the shapes are a kind of cylinder, but with a smaller top. And this will be important when we will color it. And the other tops will be on this level, somewhere here. Okay, and then we just draw the shape. And I moved it a little bit, the whole picture, a little bit more to this side, so I don't have this part, and this is just because of the composition, and it's not very important to have this in our picture. We try to simplify everything. So for the trees, we also do something like this, and that's all. Okay, and here we have 4 triangles like this, and they are all of the same height. Like this. And here we have some round shapes, kind of ovals. Difficult to see and not necessarily tall, because we try to make an impression, a suggestion of all of this. And then we create a pattern. And here we draw something like this. I see here a clear circle. So we'll draw it like this. Also simplified here 3 triangles like this. And here we have a rectangle that we also can simplify. It's not very clear what it exactly is, so we just draw a rectangle and some kind of pattern, some texture on it. Okay, and then I think we actually have enough for for this picture. Maybe some shapes here, also kind of triangles or shapes like this. And for the for these textures, we will add them later with a colored pencil. Okay, so how is it going, guys? Can you keep up with me? Let me know in the comments, please.
No comments, Julia, but you're doing
No.
great. But keep going.
Thank you.
They'll tell
Keep
you. They'll
going.
tell you when if
Okay.
you're going too fast.
Okay. I think everyone is very busy with drawing. Okay, so now I remove the pencil lines and we can start coloring. And I use gouache again. And if you use watercolor, the technique will be pretty much the same. I will show you the technique that I used for use for watercolor. So if you use gouache, you actually can. This is my first. This is my example for the postcard. And what I did here is I did it with watercolor. So I painted the sky first, and then I painted these towers. What you also can do is if you use a gouache, you can paint this whole area with gouache and then apply the towers another color. When it's dry, you can apply this color above the sky. This is why gouache is easier to use. Okay, I removed my towers, so now I don't know where to color them. I think it will be somewhere here. Okay, everyone is very busy. Cool, yeah. Anouk, you can't keep up with me. I'm too fast. Okay, I make my gouache moist, so it will have a brighter color. Oh, okay, acorn. I don't know if we can remove
It's
this.
all good where I am,
Yes.
and now it is. There is an echo. There wasn't before,
Okay, that's
so
weird.
just no. It's all good on my side.
Oh, great, Anouk. Yeah, cool. Okay, so then we can start coloring. And I will use the same technique this time as we did, I don't remember when, but previous postcards, I think, I don't know. But we start with water. We just grab some water and make the sky wet. So the wet and wet technique. And I use water only around the towers. The towers will be dry. And if you use gouache, as I said, you can also paint the whole sky first. But then you need to wait a little bit before it dries. Okay. So, and then I take some turquoise and start painting here. And spread it on this side. To make it to make the edge very soft. Okay, and then I add more color here. Oh, it's a little bit too much maybe. So I paint around the towers, and here is my paper towel, and I remove the excess color on this side and add more turquoise here, a thicker layer. A thicker layer means that I use more pigment, so more paint and less water. And that's enough. Okay, and now we need the sky to wait until the sky is dry, but we can start painting. We can do the trees first. So, and for the trees, we use two colors, yellow and blue. So a mixture of two colors. And I take more yellow and start to paint on this side. So we assume that the light source is on this side, and then this will be the lightest side, and the other side, this side, will be darker. So here, somewhere here, we start adding more blue and create a beautiful green color like this. And here we add a little bit of yellow, so because there are different branches, and here we have a darker green shade. And so we have a very beautiful greenery. And I actually want to, I can do it a little bit later, add the same color as I will use here. I will also add it between the leaves. Okay, so for this side, we will use a color. I think it will be ochre. Ochre is a good color for painting this part, and maybe I will use just a little bit of pink to make it a more interesting color. So you can see it here. And if you don't have pink, you also can use some red or orange, just to make some colors and make it look more interesting. And I just paint it like this. It's very diluted mixture, so I use a lot of color, or a lot of water, I mean, and not that much color. And paint it very loosely, like this. And here you can see I touch the greenery. I touch the greenery and the colors flow into each other, and it creates a very beautiful look. And for the towers, I will actually use the same ochre. I even mix it on the same spot. And I will add some, let's try some orange. Orange is always a good color. And more ochre to make it lighter. And for the shadow part, I will add some burnt sienna and a little bit of purple. But let's start with this mixture. And I just paint over this whole part. And you can see that these colors also mix a little bit, and that's great. No problem at all. And maybe I add of yellow to this part to make it a little bit lighter, but not too much. Okay, and spread it here a bit. And also touch the green here. And for this part, it's a little bit too wet, but no problem. For the shadow, I will use burnt sienna mixed with purple. A very beautiful color, as you can see. It's really amazing. I love it. One of my favorite combinations for shadows. And I paint shadows on one side of the towers, and maybe just a little bit here. And just spread it here. And add a little bit of ochre on this side, so otherwise it will be too light. There is no highlight. Don't need a highlight there. So it will be something like this. And no worries about this. We will make it look beautiful when with colored pencils. And I see that this top has kind of green color, and I paint it like this. Just put it on the top of on this layer. And maybe it looks a little bit weird for now, but it will be better in a minute. And we also can paint these windows here. Oh, it's too wet now. Or we'll just leave them like this. Or maybe not. Yeah. And now we need to wait until the paint is dry, and then we can make it all nice and beautiful with colored pencils. And Anna wants to tell
while
you
we're
something.
waiting, while we're waiting for the paint to dry, just a little
Yes.
reminder that we've got a challenge going on, and you still have a couple of days to finish the sketches. And so, once again, it's three sketches from the workshop plus one sketch of your own of any architecture done in the same technique.
Yes.
Use the hashtag tag Julia. You've got all this information on the page with where you got the links from, or in the email that you received if you signed up for email reminders. And if you are a brave brusher, also feel free. We've got our own challenge going on for greenery, but you can also take part in this one. And you can submit your sketches for our talent show, for the art show of this month, the
Yes.
month of June. Well, that's all from me. Is your gouache dry?
No, the gorge is not dry yet. And
Uh,
I'm wondering how it goes with everyone.
I'm guessing busy.
Busy, busy. Yes, that's good. And I think the coloring part is the most difficult one for everyone because all these colors flowing around, and we, yeah, we mix colors, and for some people it's for the first time maybe, and then it's kind of a big deal. It might be a big deal. And at Brave Brush Studio, we mix colors. Everyone knows we mix everything, and everyone loves it, I think. Yeah, so they're used to it.
I can't remember if I asked you before. Can you use or do you use this thumbnail technique with markers?
Yes, definitely, definitely, and I think we'll all also will use this technique for next month for our adventure. And it's very important for markers to use the thumbnails because we need to know what colors we will use in the markers, because we need to find out what colors work well with each other, because markers are quite complicated to use, maybe even more complicated than watercolors if you don't know what to do. But once you know, it becomes much, much easier, as always,
Well,
with
I'm looking
everything.
forward to that adventure, really, because it's going to be so different from all the painting that we've been doing over the past half a year.
Yeah,
And I've got some markers lying around. So
yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, really.
remember, there was a time, was it last summer, when for you it was markers, markers, markers all the time, like a whole month or 2 months. And so it will be nice to see you get back to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I used them for the workshop, you remember, for Winsor Newton and for the challenge too, and for all this um, fall stuff, the leaves and a cup of tea. Yeah, that was very cool.
Mm.
Okay, I think my paint is quite dry, so we can add some details. And let me see what colors I want to use for that. We don't have a lot of colors here in the picture, but there are a few that we can use to add some shadows and also to add all these details. And I see that these flowers have a kind of yellowish color, so I didn't paint them. Uh, if you did, it's okay too, but I didn't paint them, so I had them like this. Oh, we don't need wash anymore, so I can make a little bit more space for myself. And also here I have this top, and it's kind of very fun to draw these details. And let me see, I have here some very short pencils. Maybe, okay, great. So, and I can use them for details. And I think mm, for the shadows on these towers, I will use blue color. Its shadows are very often blue, and we have already used blue for the shadows here, and also we also will do it here. It's a very good way to add shadows, add details, and all this stuff. So I'm definitely going to use blue color, and for this top, I use this orange color. And add some textures and just try to create a suggestion for these towers. And you can see that here we have kind of white stuff. So we can't really see this I don't know, these are no windows, but kind of gaps. And we will add some textures to this part very quickly. Also here. And here we see these textures or larger details, I mean, and we can use them like this, and maybe a few of a different color to make it even more interesting and fun. And a few blue ones. And I also want to add a bit more shadow, maybe with a different color, with this color. Here I add more shadow to to the towers. And also here I draw this this top and make here a suggestion of this weird shape. And as you can see, the whole building, the whole cathedral exists from very, very strange, very unusual shapes. But a general form, the general shape is very beautiful. And this is what makes us think that it's not about every single detail, it's about the whole thing. Here we add some details, a suggestion of these shapes. And also here we can create shadows, add all these shadows, so all of them are on one side, and this way we create a suggestion of all these windows and details that we see in the building. Also here we have something like roofs, and very simplified, and some kind of windows. And for the tops here we can use, I see that two of them are yellow and two of them are, I don't know, maybe it's blue. It's very difficult to see what color it is. Let's make it blue. And we add some shadow here on one side. Like this. Okay, and here we also can draw a suggestion of these shapes. And add just a little bit of different random textures. And here we can add can add something like this, a suggestion of this grayish building in the background. And for the trees, we use some lines or some strokes like this to create a shape of the tree and the texture. And also here some shapes, some strokes, and let me see, with a dark green color we can make it even more interesting and add more and more textures. Okay, that's enough. And I forgot to add this part here. So I use a color which is pretty much the towers, and just draw something like this, a suggestion of, like we see something through the leaves. And let's draw a tree trunk. We can't really see it very well, but we can add it just to make it very clear that these are, or you can see that these are trees, but you also can add some tree trunks, and then it will be even more obvious. Okay, and I want to make this tops a bit lighter because of this white, because they are lighter. And of course I need to add something in the sky, the round shapes in the sky, and they will be like this, I think. A little bit too random, but that's okay. I think we're done.
Okay, if you're done, then don't pick up any more pencils, Julia.
Yeah, I know. It's so tempting to
Do you
add
want to
more and more details.
pull off the masking tape?
Yes,
So we
yes,
can see the finished
yeah.
sketch.
It looks much more beautiful without. Oh, I don't remember how I did it. Where should I start? Oh, it's here. Okay.
So much
Yes.
better.
Yeah. And you can see that this one is much brighter.
Mm.
And that's because this is gouache and this is watercolors. That's the difference. And maybe I also made it a little bit darker. And but the gouache is much brighter anyways. And how are you guys? Are you also done with your
Well,
sketch?
we'll see in a few minutes on Instagram. To me,
Yes,
it's
we hope
always
so.
amazing how quickly everyone starts posting their sketches after the workshop. Like five
Yeah,
minutes later, and there's already a lot of sketches. That's really, really impressive.
yeah. And
So,
a
Julie,
lot of very beautiful sketches, guys. I'm so proud of you. Very
yeah,
cool.
well, any final words, recommendations, praise that you want to give to everyone? I don't know.
Yes, of course, recommendations. I would say try this technique, practice this technique as much as possible, as often as possible. And you also can apply it to bigger formats,
Form.
to larger formats. And it's actually it actually works exactly the same. The only difference is that you will add many more details later. So you start with a very rough sketch first, and then you add more details, maybe first with watercolors or gouache, and in the end you always can apply colored pencils to refine everything and to make it look more beautiful, interesting, textured, bright, and everything. So, and yeah, we will have another challenge or another workshop in a month, right?
Yeah, well, in July, I can't remember the dates at the
No,
moment, but we'll tell you very soon about it.
yes,
Also, a quick sketching technique.
yes.
Another technique that Julia uses and recommends if you are very busy during your holiday to you're too busy to sit down and sketch. There is a
Yeah.
solution, right?
Yes, yes, a very cool one. And I know that some of Brave Brushers loved it so much, and they said, "Oh, this
And
is
are
so cool."
using it already. Yeah.
Yeah, they are using it already. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let's keep this intrigue for a few days. But
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
you'll be hearing from us soon with the details
yes.
of next month's workshop. In the meantime, finish your sketches, take part in the challenge, and
And
you know,
go
come
on
share your
vacation.
pictures with us.
Go on
Yeah, and go on
vacation.
holiday. That's a very good recommendation.
Yeah, yeah.
Julia. Very good. Go on vacation.
And paint all these beautiful iconic buildings or any other buildings you see there, and post them on Instagram and
Okay.
tag us, tag me. Yeah. So I think we
Well,
can. Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say that's all for today.
Yeah. That's all for
We're
today.
doing very good on time. It's my job. The time keeping is my job. So when I say we're done, we're done. Thank you, Julia, for the wonderful three workshops. They were very inspiring and just like Frida said, a good movie. Just a pleasure to watch, even if you were not sketching along.
No, and you. Thank you very much for assisting me for hosting
Yeah, it's always a
it.
pleasure.
And yeah, and
Okay.
someone called you something with magic,
I don't know.
technical
I don't
technical
know.
technical wonder. I don't remember.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys.
So
Yes,
Anouk is asking, have we got
hashtag.
a hashtag for the thumbnails technique? Well, we use so far we only have as a hashtag for uh, postcards, the one we want you to use for the challenge. But maybe, Julie, it's time to come up with something else for the thumbnails
For the
specifically.
thumbnails. We
Yeah.
will see.
Okay. Well, if you can think of something. Okay. Well, bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Julia, and thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. We'll see
Thank
you next
you.
month.
Yes. Bye bye.